Jupiter, Florida is a perfect place for families. And Gretchen Anthony had no reason to believe that she was at risk.
There was no answer when they knocked at the door. There's an individual who enters Gretchen's patio. This person attempts to hide behind the door.
You can also hear her tell Alexa to call 911.
I watch a lot of criminal shows, so this is like spooky.
I don't know, yeah.
I heard a really serious woman scream, like just screaming, like she was being attacked.
Police thought that if they could find that truck, they could find either Gretchen or the person who did this to her.
Hands up, I can see him.
There's a warrant for your arrest, and I'm going to explain that when we get back to the, excuse me, homicide.
I'm scared. I miss my mom. I need to know where my mom is. Please shoot the right thing and tell me where my mom is.
We knew she was out there, but we didn't know where she was.
Technology upgraded.
To record what they do.
Anyone inside the big door?
These videos are a crucial piece of the puzzle.
Turn around. Hey.
You're on the camera. We know the answer.
That video is the best evidence.
Police permanently recorded. This is Amanda. Hi, yes. My name is Sarah Carey, and is this the Jupiter Police Department? It is. Okay. I know this is all going to sound very crazy, but my sister lives in Jupiter. What's her name? Her name is Gretchen Anthony. She just texted us on Tuesday morning saying that she wasn't feeling well, that she went to the ER because she felt like she might have the coronavirus. And then she said that she was kind of put on this off-site facility to be treated. A lot of the story doesn't make sense.
Back when this took place, there was a lot of uncertainty because you're in the midst of a global pandemic.
COVID-19 cases surging in Florida. Many mayors and county leaders want to ramp up restrictions.
There could be significant sickness and loss of life.
You have everyone masking up, you have people barricading themselves more or less inside their homes. It certainly wasn't a stretch, to assume that someone developed the disease or who contracted COVID to kind of take things into their own hands, then admit themselves to the hospital.
Hold on. Sarah, you're connected with Sergeant Cunahan. Okay, thank you.
Hi, how can I help you?
Well, my sister, what do we do? How do we find her?
I'm actually heading to the house right now to see if anybody's home.
When families are worried about their loved one, if they haven't heard from them for a while, or if there's some erratic behavior, they'll ask police to just check on them. And that's called a welfare check.
We were trying to find out if she was here, if she left a note, or whether there was some other circumstances.
There was no answer when they knocked at the door.
They didn't have enough evidence to break in because there were no signs of distress. There was not an emergency situation.
Yeah, I went to the house. We checked just to make sure she wasn't inside. She wasn't. What we're going to do is we're going to enter her as a missing adult. That way, if any law enforcement comes into contact with her or anybody else, she'll come back flagged as a missing person.
I'm trying to hope for the best, that maybe she just went on a vacation and checked, just, I don't know, but it seems a little crazy to go through these, I don't mean to waste your time with this, but I'm so worried.
No, you're not wasting her time at all. I mean, it is odd.
If she has COVID, is she okay? Is she going to survive? Does she actually have COVID? No one's able to locate her.
Jupiter, Florida is a perfect place for families. It is peaceful, and Gretchen Anthony was raising her daughter there and had no reason to believe that she was at risk. She was beloved by so many. She was an outgoing person who believed in people.
She had this uncanny and remarkable ability to empathize. An excellent and compassionate listener who was passionate about being in the service of others. You have this beautiful, universally, well-liked young single mother who disappeared in the middle of it all, seemingly out of nowhere.
What did raise red flags was she used abbreviations she doesn't normally use.
The text message came across as, the testing facility is going to get the kits at 10 like 10 a.m. Gretchen doesn't talk like that. Like she would say 10 a.m. or 10 o'clock.
The message has escalated further into a trip to the Jupiter Medical Center.
When her parents and her sister had called the Jupiter Medical Center, they had told the family that they didn't have Gretchen registered as a patient there. Her ex-husband had also gone to the Jupiter Medical Center and had driven around the parking lot.
I can tell you that her car is parked in the east side parking lot at Jupiter Medical Center.
So it is at Jupiter Medical Center?
Yes, that's what I've seen. I believe that's her car.
When did you see that?
Yesterday and today.
They were able to see on cameras at the hospital that her vehicle was driven there, and there was an individual who appeared to be a male exiting the driver's seat of that car and walking away.
We knew that she wasn't there. And they had also found her purse on the floorboard of the car, which was extremely unusual for behavior for her.
And have you tried reaching out to her since or no?
Several times.
Okay, and she never answered?
No, her mother's tried reaching her, her sister's tried reaching her, and I've tried reaching her, and I believe my daughter has as well, and she has not been answering.
Gretchen Anthony, the love of her life was her daughter. If Gretchen actually believed she was sick and she had COVID, there is no way in a million years that Gretchen would not have reached out to her daughter.
The text messages that said that she was being placed on a ventilator and that she was having her cell phone taken away.
I think it was pretty clear to people on the receiving end of these text messages that it surely couldn't have been Gretchen communicating with a tube down her throat in an unconscious state.
The text message saying that she's at a CDC facility in Belgrade, Florida. There is not a CDC facility in Belgrade. Law enforcement officers reach out to Gretchen's mom and ask if she would give them permission to go inside of the residence, which her mother agreed.
Investigators found a broken picture frame at the top of her second-story landing. There's a washer and dryer, and in that area was found was a rag with a blood-like substance on it.
When they went inside to the garage, they can smell a very strong odor of bleach. And you can see on the floor, there were bleach stains. It was very apparent that a crime scene had attempted to be cleaned up. The cadaver dog positively hit on the garage floor.
Gretchen's home was equipped with video surveillance cameras.
The problem, though, is that some of the cameras were missing from the garage.
That led us to believe that whoever this person was also aware of these cameras. And it appeared as though they were taking the cameras in hopes of getting rid of potential evidence.
At this point, we're thinking that something horrible has happened to Gretchen.
And I don't know how to put into words, but I know she's in very grave danger right now. I'm one of the last people she spoke to, and I think she needs help.
In this business, we try not to have false hope, because the longer that people did not hear from Gretchen, the more worried people got and the less likely that Gretchen would be found alive.
Her friends and family believed that the person that needed to be asked questions was David Anthony.
We had learned that he was her personal trainer, and they fell in love and got married. After about 5 years into their marriage, Gretchen had filed for divorce. It was contentious.
Gretchen made clear that this relationship, A, wasn't sustainable, and B, had to end. David's life up to this point, it was kind of just a string of failure, frankly. And it was shortcoming and mishap after mishap after mishap. It was clear that he was unraveling and descending into a really dark place.
He had been arrested for attacking police officers.
Get out! Now! Get out! Get out! Get out!
We had found that out within the first couple of days of investigating Gretchen as a missing person. According to his family, they thought he was bipolar, he suffered from manic depressive, and he was paranoid.
Detectives go to David's last known address, which was his mother's house.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Jupiter Police. Sorry to bother you.
Yeah.
Is David home?
No.
Okay. Are you his
Mother.
Okay. All right. We're just trying to get in touch with him. It's involving his wife. I think they're separated, Gretchen.
Right.
Okay. Have you heard from David recently?
No.
Is he staying here?
No. I say that because Gretchen's been in touch with me because she's in the CDC center. She has the virus.
Okay. What CDC center is she at?
I don't know. She texted me this morning and said she was in there. Why? What's going on? I mean, I'm not hiding anything.
Nobody's saying you are, man.
I know. It's
We're just
just
trying
scary.
to. Their family's concerned, so we're just trying to track her down.
And I'm
now.
trying to help you, and I feel bad.
David was a person who came to idolize these sort of hyper-masculine figures, namely Kobe Bryant.
Breaking news in this Sunday afternoon, Kobe Bryant
is now dead. Killed in a helicopter crash in Los Angeles.
When Kobe Bryant died, this really, in David's mind at least, marked the beginning of the end. And for whatever reason, Costa Rica was his mecca.
So he was going to Costa Rica because all this virus stuff, because I can't even go, but I was concerned, and
Was he planning on going with Gretchen to Costa Rica? Or was he going alone?
as far as I know, alone, I don't know. Why, what's going on? You're scaring me.
Well, I don't know.
I watch a lot of criminal shows, so this is like spooky.
I don't know, yeah. When you hear from David or Gretchen, again, please let us know.
David's hitting the road in his truck, and his only companion at this point is his dog. What's the dog's name? Kobe.
We went out and we were doing a neighborhood canvass. One of the officers were approached by a neighbor that lives directly across from Gretchen.
So when we were over here about to go into the residence, you came up to us and said, hey, is this about someone who was attacked? So explain that to me, or elaborate. What prompted you to come over and say that to us?
Well, because on Saturday morning, I heard, I was asleep upstairs in my room, and I heard a really serious woman scream, like just screaming, like she was being attacked, but she wasn't saying help. She wasn't saying anything like that, and I thought maybe it's kids in the neighborhood or something. My windows were open. I can't really tell where it's coming from, but it really sounded like it was coming from that alley right behind my house.
Of course, that was very alarming, but also provided some type of insight of what could have potentially happened at Gretchen's home, and that Gretchen may have been harmed or in danger.
and then saw a truck backed in that I didn't recognize. It was backed in a couple doors down. We took pictures of the truck just in case. The truck was running. There wasn't anybody in it. The truck was running.
She provided these photos to us. It was a black colored truck. It was a Nissan.
And then later in the morning, I saw the same truck parked on Mallory outside my neighbor's house.
When the truck was parked over on West Mallory, was there anybody in it? Was it running?
No.
Okay. Did you ever see anybody outside during any of this on Saturday morning? Okay. And can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear what you told me today is the truth?
Absolutely, as best I can remember.
All right.
Was it someone that Gretchen didn't know that came to her residence? Was it someone she knew? What actually happened to Gretchen?
Police thought that if they could find that truck, they could find either Gretchen or the person who did this to her.
We were able to take that photo. We were able to conduct a computer check on that license plate.
The tag on that truck came back being registered to David Anthony.
So we had issued a national BOLO, be on the lookout for his vehicle. It was flagged as a felony vehicle. We were also getting up on their cell phones and trying to ping the cell phone location as to where they were located.
What police found was that David Anthony's cell phone was pinging right next to Gretchen Anthony's cell phone.
When we tried to ping Gretchen's phone, we were able to see that it was hitting in the Pensacola area. He had stopped at a pawn shop and sold a lot of Gretchen's jewelry, some of her jewelry that had belonged to her grandmother. Then after leaving Pensacola, we know he went to Texas, Pecos, Texas, where we had gotten a ping from her cell phone.
And on the way, they would obtain images from cameras that showed David Anthony and sometimes showed David Anthony's dog, but no sign of Gretchen Anthony.
Is Gretchen with David Anthony? Has he left Gretchen somewhere?
After Pecos, Texas, he moved to Las Cruces, New Mexico, where the cell phones were pinging again.
Which is just a few miles from the Mexico border. And so it was likely he was gonna take his pickup truck, his dog, and the cash south of the border.
Eight officers to block on Main.
We had asked Las Cruces to be on the lookout for his vehicle. They conducted a felony traffic stop on it.
Hands up the vehicle. He rolled up the window fence. Hands up so I can see him. Keep him up for me, please.
Gretchen was not in David's truck. He was only present with his dog that he was traveling with.
Who else is in the car with you? Turn around. Keep your hands up, please. Take a step back.
He exited the vehicle. They took him into custody.
Mr. Anthony, right now you're being detained for an investigation that's going on in Florida, okay? That's all I know. That's all I can tell you. You're not going to leave here until you talk to some detectives that are on their way. Any questions? Okay. You want the window down or what in Florida? I have no idea, man.
David Anthony had hid a bunch of things below the tarp in his pickup truck.
They located cameras that were consistent with the cameras at Gretchen's residence, as well as Gretchen's cell phone in the possession of David Anthony.
Do me a favor, let's walk up against that wall.
He claimed to have seen Gretchen Anthony at a gas station not too long ago. That was the last time they saw each other, and that she had the virus. They were only able to seize the truck, not David Anthony himself. They didn't have enough evidence yet.
So at that point, David had to be released. I asked that the detectives from Las Cruces provide David with my cell phone number in the event that he would like to reach out to me.
Hello?
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I answered the cell phone. The phone call was from David Anthony. I was very surprised.
I spoke with Gretchen today.
You spoke with Gretchen today?
Yeah.
So what?
We've obtained legal representation.
You what?
We've obtained legal representation.
You both have?
She wants to prepare a statement.
David was sort of speaking as Gretchen's representative. He indicated she was some type of whistleblower and that she was in some danger.
Gretchen is receiving treatment for the COVID virus. Before she contacted the virus, she uncovered illegal federal tax fraud and fraudulent accounting practices by her employer.
Okay.
Falsifying invoices overcharged their main customer. Gretchen's terrified for her life. Someone was sent to her house to hurt her the other weekend. She's trying to put the pieces together just like you are.
The statement that he gave indicated that I should also look towards her ex-husband as well.
Gretchen hasn't ruled out her ex-husband, Jeff Dreyer. Gretchen and Jeff resumed an intimate relationship based on payment for sex. Jeff refers to Gretchen as a gold-digging fat, and he hates having to give her $1,000 a month in child support.
All these allegations, I was able to determine that they weren't valid.
He wants to pass along a note to her daughter, Sister Sarah, that Gretchen loves him very much. That's all the information Gretchen is willing to share at this time.
Police finally were able to obtain the images from the cameras that had been removed from the garage. They were able to get it from the servers.
That was the same day that we were getting ready to leave for New Mexico. When we all sat down and viewed the evidence, it was horrible. Absolutely horrible.
There's an individual who enters Gretchen's patio, and this person is basically lurking on her patio. This person attempts to hide behind the door, and then we hear what is a muffled scream of Gretchen.
He then grabbed her from behind, put his hand over her mouth, and dragged her into the garage. The video from the garage was even more telling. We can see it was a very tall individual. He was wearing dark clothing. The video was very dark because it was still morning time. He was wearing gloves. He was pacing back and forth in the garage. You can also hear her tell Alexa to call 911.
So we know that when she initially goes into the garage, she is alive.
And then at the end of her sentence, you can hear her voice get muffled. There were several times that she was grunting, she was groaning, she was fighting with him.
This person turns around and looks directly into the camera. It is David Anthony. We got him.
At that point, we knew that we definitely had a homicide investigation.
And then shortly thereafter, in the afternoon, we departed for the airport.
We're off to Las Cruces. We knew that he was still in Las Cruces. We just knew it was a matter of time.
Hey, David. Who are you? My name is Jared Kennerson. I'm a detective with the Jupiter Police Department.
They had located David and his dog Kobe crossing one of the convenience store gas stations.
Oda just came in, sir. What's that? Oda just came in. Okay, no problem. Okay, I'm gonna read you your rights so that you understand them.
He was compliant. There were no problems. He was taken into custody right away, asking why he was being placed under arrest.
There's a warrant for your arrest, and I'm gonna explain that when we get back to the... Excuse me? What? Homicide. For who? Who do you think? That's why I asked the question. We'll talk about it at the headquarters, okay? Okay. All right.
So then we went back to the police department headquarters.
Lights should turn on. Here we go. Go and take a seat for us right here. Appreciate it, thank you.
We were extremely tired. We had just flown halfway across the United States.
Hi, David. My name is Kelly.
But we were both ready. Detective Kennerson and I were ready for this interview.
I want you to understand that. And what's most important to us right now is to find out where she is.
Yeah, I'd like to be able to tell you where she is.
Okay.
But I don't have that information. I'm going to have to ask her.
You're gonna have to ask her? Okay. So listen. I told you that we've been working since Thursday, and we gathered a lot of information that I'm sure you're not aware of. Okay, and I want to let you know that.
What information?
There was a neighbor that heard the entire incident on Saturday morning at 6:30, who lives across the way. I want you to think about that real quick.
What incident?
The incident that occurred at Gretchen's home.
What does that have to do with me?
You don't know anything about that?
That's what I'm asking you.
Okay.
David indicated at some point during the interview that he had last saw her in El Paso, Texas.
Why do you have her phone?
So, I have her phone. Well, she had her phone, so she was traveling with me up into El Paso.
And then what happened?
Someone hacked her account. Someone was searching her phone. So.
Well, if you were with her in El Paso, how did you become not to be with her?
We were driving separate vehicles, so she bolted.
Gretchen didn't make it to El Paso. She didn't go to El Paso with you.
And then why are we having this conversation?
Because we are trying to find that little girl's the whereabouts of her mother.
I told you where she was.
We presented evidence to him and we challenged him.
Gretchen's home has cameras throughout it. Were you aware of that?
This is the first one knowledge.
The first time? Mm-hmm. First time. Mm-hmm.
Because they're in your car.
What are?
Her cameras.
No, they're not.
The blank cameras?
There's blank cameras in your truck.
And they're mine.
Okay. They're yours because they came from Gretchen's house, or they're yours because you bought them somewhere else?
They're mine.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
David Anthony thought that just removing the camera would eliminate the recording. Maybe in the 1970s, but not today.
So you can destroy the cameras all you want.
Mm-hmm.
And there's still data and stored cloud storage from Blink. Do you understand that?
That's what you're telling me, so yeah.
Okay. There's video of you, David, at Gretchen's home on the morning last Saturday at 6:30 a.m.
You just said they saw my vehicle there. So.
Yeah, not just your vehicle there. There's video inside her home when you made contact with her that morning, when you met with her. And that video shows something other than a pleasant interaction. Do you remember that?
No, it's fine.
You don't remember that?
Mm-hmm.
See her right there?
Mm-hmm.
We confronted him with the fact that we had video surveillance of her dead body laying on the garage floor, and his response was, Gretchen's alive. She's fine, she's alive.
I'm going to show you a few other things to see if you can recollect your knowledge of that day. Does that look like you?
Could be.
That is you with your vehicle.
So you're saying?
Yep, exactly. That is you cleaning up her garage after there is an incident, stepping over her body with a shovel.
So you say?
So I say. Here is a small photo of Gretchen, deceased, with your face up here. It doesn't look like Gretchen?
Gretchen's alive, I told you that already.
David, we really don't need you to tell us what happened, because we already know what happened.
It doesn't matter, we have that. We have what happened.
Then what are we
What we
doing?
need to do
Then what are we doing?
is find her. And what are we doing?
He's telling you.
Well,
We know what happened because the video tells us what happened, right?
Okay.
But
so let's get past that. Tell us what happened. So what happened?
you killed her.
We had known that obviously a horrific crime had occurred in that garage. The only piece of the puzzle that we were missing was where she was buried and where her body was located.
The fact that I don't have is where Gretchen's body is. And that's because she's still alive. But she's not, Dave. David, she's not alive, bro. What's that? Like, she's not alive. She's not alive, and it sucks.
Yeah, David Anthony has a pretty decent poker face. He stuck to his story.
I've told you this numerous times. She's still alive. You have to ask Gretchen. Yeah, she's still alive.
He just continued to dissemble and confuse and obfuscate the whole time he was there with the police.
I told you where she was. She's still alive, and she's safe.
At one point, I thought, well, if we could get a voice recording of Gretchen's daughter asking David to please tell us where Gretchen was located, that maybe that would break David. That maybe with David hearing his stepdaughter's voice, that would help us get a confession.
David, I'm gonna play something for you. I need you to listen to it.
David, I love you. I'm scared. I miss my mom. I need to know where my mom is. Please do the right thing and tell me where my mom is. Please, I love you.
David, you don't want to believe that you are some kind of a monster, do you?
Sure, do you think so?
I don't think she does.
She does.
I don't think she does.
She does.
I know how you feel in your heart about her. You yourself said before she's like a daughter to you. You know how she feels about you.
No, Shirley hates me. I'm a monster to her.
No.
Even though her mother's still alive.
No, her mother's not alive. Her mother is dead. Her mother is not alive. And she has to live the rest of her life without her mother. Do her one last thing. Do one last thing. Let us know where her mother is.
We had a lot of information from the family to definitely know he was going through a manic episode. He refused to take medication, so we knew that wasn't going to be any help.
You're not going to paint a picture of me looking great anyway, so what does it matter, bro? Come on.
No.
Come on, bro.
They are going to look at you as a monster now.
Don't ruse me anymore, Drew.
It was a very, very long day. We weren't going to leave there until we had pulled out all of the stops to try to get a confession from him.
In the morning of Saturday, last Saturday, Gretchen came out of her house at 6:30 in the morning. She came out at 6:30 in the morning.
We're not going to do this anymore.
We had a lot of evidence against him. We knew that he was guilty. We had photographs of the crime scene. We had video surveillance to show him. We told him about the Blink video. We told him about the Alexa audio. We told him about the SunPass video where she's not in the car. I don't think anything that we would have said to him at that point in time would have gotten us an answer as to where Gretchen was located.
Want me to cooperate? I've cooperated, that's what I'm telling you.
How would you feel if you told me where she was? How do you think your body would feel? How do you think your soul would feel?
That question can't be answered.
Sure it can.
It can't. Because she's alive.
Now, she is dead.
He decided at that point that he didn't want to talk anymore.
So what are we doing here? Like, I've answered all your questions. There's nowhere, we're not going anywhere right now.
And in the end, he wouldn't tell us where she was.
We knew that he could be eligible for the death penalty, but the problem was we couldn't find Gretchen Anthony's body. We didn't know where her remains were located.
We continued to look for the body. We knew he had access to a lot of vacant land. We had received another tip that said somebody had thought they had seen the truck down by a lake in kind of near where she lived, and we didn't find anything. But we also knew that he had just traveled halfway across the United States. So at that point, we didn't know if her body had been in the back of the pickup truck because it was covered with tarps, and gotten rid of her somewhere along the way between Jupiter, Florida and New Mexico.
We knew she was out there, but we didn't know where she was.
Sometimes in this job, as a prosecutor, you have to make a deal with the devil. The family of Gretchen Anthony were despondent, and they pleaded with us to do what we could do to allow Gretchen Anthony to have the dignity and respect of a proper burial, and that they could have some closure.
This morning, a court hearing was conducted for David Anthony, and a plea was agreed upon in exchange for the information regarding the whereabouts of the remains of Gretchen Anthony.
And the agreement was that if we are able to locate her, the plea would be enforced, and that if we were unable to locate her, the plea deal would be off.
The public defender had given our state attorney a map and directions as to where her body was located.
Jupiter police officers responded to the scene. It took quite a while.
It's on the property of an assisted living facility. It's 2.8 miles from Gretchen's house and less than a mile away from David's mother's house. They put some probes into the ground. They said that they had definitely seen something underneath the earth.
At approximately 3:30 p.m., investigators located what is believed to be Gretchen Anthony.
Gretchen was buried approximately 4 feet into the ground. It was deep. It was so deep that there was actually water at the bottom of the gravesite, and it was cold. And she had been wrapped in blankets.
Gretchen's cause of death was stabbing to her neck and torso. The matter was determined to be homicide.
Would we have ever found Gretchen but for him telling us? Part of me didn't want her to be there because I still wanted her to be alive. But I'm happy that we did find her.
We hope that this will bring closure to the family now that Gretchen has been located.
We agreed to a prison sentence of 38 years. And it's not perfect justice, but it's the real world we live in that we wanted to find Gretchen Anthony's body. That's what the family wanted.
My name is Sarah Carey, and I am Gretchen's sister. It is important to me and my family that I stand here today, as hard as this is, and give my sister Gretchen a voice and tell you how amazing she was.
There was absolutely no shortage of emotion and tension and heartbreak.
Now, I would like to say some words to the defendant, whose name and being are not worthy of the air we all breathe. You are a monster. You are a coward. Gretchen believed in karma. And therefore, we can take some comfort knowing that every day you spend in prison will be as horrific as the murder you committed. You can never be forgiven. You are disgusting.
Finally, Judge, the defense calls David Anthony.
It could have taken years to prepare this statement, and it still wouldn't come out right. But it's from the heart. I understand my actions weigh heavy on the hearts of many in attendance today. So what do you say in a situation like this? I've created irreparable damage in the worlds of people who loved me. Gretchen loved me, and Gretchen's family loved me. And I shunned that love with a cold-hearted, evil act. I disgrace my family. I'm hated by some beyond words, and have brought shame upon my name. Some would call for my death, and I can't offer any reasonable argument against that sentiment.
It's very rare for anyone who says, yeah, I did it, and give me the punishment because I deserve it.
Instead of being a man, I chose to be a coward. I tried to steal what wasn't mine, and in the process I ended a life. Her life had value, her life had meaning, and I stole that life. And it hurts so much, but it will never compare to the hurt I've caused everyone associated with her and me. And lastly, I say to my family, thank you from the depths of my soul for the grace you've shown in loving someone like me.
Thank you. So I think it's time for the full section. Guilty on count 1, second-degree murder, and count 2, kidnapping. Pursuant to the negotiated settlement as follows, I sentence you to serve 38 years in the Florida Department of Corrections.
It is never ideal to have someone who commits a crime like this get anything less than life, but this is what the family wanted to provide closure. This is an element of justice.
I think Gretchen was probably the best thing that ever happened to David. And I think that Gretchen making the decision to leave him, that he could not wrap his mind around it.
Now, the most dangerous time for a victim of domestic violence is when she's trying to leave. When an abuser feels a loss of control, he may take drastic actions because to him, Gretchen Anthony was property.
I corresponded with David through a sort of in-house inmate email server. You have David Anthony going on and on about how he's found himself in this new light, seeking God, so on and so forth, me centered. I don't think anyone knows whether David Anthony is truly sorry for what he did, except for David Anthony.
So ultimately, he thought he was smarter than the rest of us, and he was very, very wrong. If he ever gets out of prison, he's going to be in his 80s. And forever he'll be known as the murderer of Gretchen Anthony.